I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. Jeremy Mathieu. Mathieu? Not quite sure how to say his name. I'm going to go with Mathieu. No, it's going to be Mathieu, isn't it? Let's go with Mathieu. So, objective card was not a Benfica or Porto card, which is nice. But they went with someone who, I mean, I have not done my research on it, so I don't know whether he deserves to be there or not. But they went with someone who's going to make a very good centre-back. The French link is a bit of a saving grace, because if this was a Portuguese centre-back, you'd be arguing, well, unless we link him to other Portuguese League Team of the Season cards, we are going to struggle. But fortunately, because of that French link, there are an awful lot of good French cards knocking about the place this year, with the amount that EA have given attention to them in SBCs and such. We can fit him into a pretty good back line. Now, with that being said, he is 6'2", high attacking work rate, medium defensive. That is going to go against him for sure. High and average body type, which is irrelevant for a centre-back. I'm not bothered by that. 2-star, 2-star again, not really that bothered. And left-footed, for those who are interested to know. Now, without a chem style, 74 acceleration, 80 sprint speed, unbelievably good defensive stats. Pretty much everywhere, apart from heading, which is only only 89. Still good, right? But, you know, for a 91 rated plus team of the season, you'd kind of hope that it was a bit higher. But fortunately, you won't be using it because nobody crosses unless it's an objective. So, 93 slide tackle, 93 stand tackle, 96 defensive awareness, 89 heading, and 91 interception. So, with a chem style, you'll pretty much bump everything up to 99, I would have thought. 98 reactions, 99 composure is really good, as well as the 86 dribbling and 82 ball control. The agility and the balance, it's always nice to have it high. Of course it is, but I don't really think it's too relevant. Like, if you just play I know most people won't admit to it, I know this, but if you do play like a drop back kind of tactic, whether it be one drop back, 2 or 3, or whether you just play 2 or 3 depth in general, you shouldn't really require too much in the way of agility and balance, because you're not going to be jockeying all the way back from the halfway line. It's kind of the same way with pace. You shouldn't need much more acceleration and sprint speed. So you could argue, well, I need to put a shadow on him, but as you can see, I've given him an anchor, and the reason I did that was because we didn't need the massive boost in acceleration and sprint speed that the shadow gives us, because we are going to be playing, I wouldn't say a deep line. You know, 4 depth isn't really a deep line, but you know, generally I don't get caught in behind too much, so we should be fine, right? And we've got pacier defenders around him, which should be able to make up for any gaps that he has, you know, made or whatever. So with that chem style, turns into a 96 rated centre back. You could argue that makes him endgame, because in a way it kind of does, because I mean, you're not going to get better defensive stats at all now. You've got 99 for heading, defensive awareness, stand tackle and slide tackle, and then 96 interceptions. There aren't going to be many players out there who can match that, even with a chem style, so that is very impressive straight away. We've got 99 strength, 83 jumping, 90 aggression. We've already been through the reactions and the composure, and then of course 85 sprint speed, 79 acceleration. Makes him a very good card indeed. A lot of people tend to agree as well. He's actually very well liked on Footbin, which does actually give you some indication as to what people think of it, because you could, I mean, I don't suppose it really matters if you do it and everybody else hates it, so long as you enjoy it, but you can kind of see what everyone else is thinking then if you go and have a look at the rating system. And a lot of people will judge SBC cards slightly more than they will objective cards, because of course this is quote-unquote free. People do consider time a currency, but it is free. You don't have to spend any actual money or coins on it, so I think people will go easier on it. But still, that is on paper, pretty damn good card. The only real problem that I'm going to have with it, I feel, is going to be that high attacking work rate, because even when, and Ramos suffers from this just as much as anybody else will, I'm sure, if you tell them to stay back, well, I say tell them, centre-backs are naturally on stay back while attacking, sometimes he will wander forward, because That's just what high attacking work rate players want to do. You pick up the ball for a counter attack, you start running forward, and you might notice that Mathieu has decided to join the attack with you, despite the fact that you've told him, please stay back. For the love of God, I am not very good at defending and I don't want to get caught in behind. Because the other problem with that is, and I did mention it, not being a problem, and that is the agility, the balance, and indeed the sprint speed and acceleration if you play a deep line. I said it wasn't going to be a problem because you shouldn't get caught in behind. Something that does happen, and as we've obviously gone into the clips and you may start to see, he will get caught if, and only if, he starts wandering forward because of that high attacking work rate. Now, like I said, I know I've previously mentioned in the video that you won't get caught in behind with him if you play a deep enough line, and I would say 9 times out of 10 you won't, right? But there is that once that he completely ignores the instructions placed upon him and decides to take matters into his own hands, decides that his 93 shot power, 86 long shots are too good to be kept at the back, and decides to trot forward to see if he can get himself into a shooting position. Now, I didn't, because I'm not a maniac. I don't play my centre backs as strikers, and I don't try and do 1-2s all the way up the pitch with them. But he definitely tried getting forward and having his fair crack now and again. So just be aware that if you do play him and you do decide to pick him up and grind for him, that he will wander. Not all the time, like I said. That once out of 10, 9 times out of 10 he stays back, but that once he will go forward. So the work rate, definitely my biggest concern. And then when you combine it with the agility, the balance, and the lack thereof of pace compared to some of the strikers you're playing up against now. I mean, you've got that Luis Diaz card who is insanely fast. Quaison has got some electric pace. Gnabry's card is insane, going back as far as the Premier League team of the season. Heung-min Son, Mahrez, Aubameyang, they're all electric. So those players coming up against this defender, if he's not in his position, you are going to get caught. You're going to struggle to try and contain those players with Van Dijk and some of the other great top-rated team of the season defenders. So Mathieu is definitely going to struggle if he's wandered up the pitch a little bit. Now, let's talk about the good things, because his defensive awareness is quite good. So when he's in that position, and obviously your opponent's had the ball for a little while, he's knocking it about the midfield or whatever, all your players are back defending, he then knows where he needs to go. He doesn't try and wander out of position then, because his defensive awareness is that good that if your opponent has the ball, he knows what position he needs to be in and when and why and all the rest of it. So that's very good. His stand tackle is very good. His strength is incredible, unparalleled. If anybody goes shoulder to shoulder with him, someone tried using Rafa, if you can believe such a thing, against me off the bench. I didn't expect it, but those Liga NOS team of the season cards are unbelievably cheap already. Rafa doesn't really command that much of a price tag, so yeah, someone already went out and got him and started playing with him, brought him off the bench, and for an initial, I would say 5-10 minutes in-game, he caused me a few problems. I didn't know how to cope with him. I dropped the line slightly to stop him getting in behind, and then he was just bouncing off Mathieu. You could not get anyone to go past him, because he's that strong. 99 strength, 6'2", with 99 stand tackle and 96 interceptions. No one's getting past him unless they try and play that over the top through ball. But if you've got that deep line, you should be fine, right? So let's do a bit of a summary. It's been on your screen for a little while now, but we might as well talk about what I think of it. Is it worth the unlock is the ultimate question. And I would say, yeah, I think it is, because you don't really need a massive amount of games played. You don't really need to go too far out of your way. Like, for instance, one of them is like score with French players. The majority of us are going to have a French card either in the club or indeed in the starting 11. So you should be fine. If you want to compare him to the likes of other defenders, like Mats Hummels, for example, his team of the season card is 96 rated. On paper, realistically, okay, Hummels is a better card, but not by an awful lot. Like passing wise, he's much better than Mathieu, much better. But his defending is not that much better, because with a chem style, they're both pretty much 99 anyway. The physicals, not really that much better, because again, with a chem style, they're both 99 anyway. So realistically, all you're looking at there is that passing difference. And do you need really good passing on a centre-back? I mean, it's nice to have, but it's not essential. So, and that Mats Hummels card, 96 rated, and is currently coming in as I'm recording this at around, 170 odd thousand coins. So effectively, with Jeremy Mathieu, of course, you're not going to get the links you do with Hummels. Not as easy to fit into a team, but you have that quality of card. So, just to give you a little comparison there, I do like it. I do think it's worth the unlock. Not the best defender I've ever used. Definitely an issue with the work rate and the wandering out of position now and again. But if you play a deep enough line, you should get on with it just fine. Not bad at all for a free card. And, worst comes to worst, chuck him in an SBC, because 91 rated, that's high. That's going to offset a big price for you. If you have enjoyed the player review, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course. And until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.